Yo, what's up, guys? We're here in the backwoods of Mississippi, actually on a farm. I'm riding around with a friend of mine, Zach Tolleson, and we got Davis Carver here. He's got a system here. I mean, I'm literally in the middle of the fields, and they come over here. So I'm going to show you his system real quick, but it's cool that you never know where we're going to find another car audio fanatic. We're in the country right now, and we got him. And let me show you what he's working with real quick. All right, so he has his. I mean, these are farm boys. They're out here. They're beating too. But he's got a Ford truck, and you can see he has. It was similar to my my work truck. There was 6X V2 6.5s in here. He said he blew one, but he's still working with 5 right now. He just ordered this Sundown SFB 2000 for them. And he said it plays really nice, so that's cool. But yeah, can you play it real quick?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's get a demo of it. I'll jump in there and listen to it. When I tell you, we're in the fields of Mississippi. We are in the fields of Mississippi. Now again, I'm actually about to be driving one of these tractors. I'm gonna help him out. It's very cool. So we'll jump in here and check it out. Get us a demo. Very cool, man. I never thought I'd be out here in the middle of some fields to get a fan of mine pull up and give me a demo and some of the stuff that he's got from down for Sound. But that just goes to show you that we got bass heads everywhere, so it's very cool. Do you plan on doing anything else with it, or are you gonna hang with this for a while?
Probably gonna hang with it for a while.
Cool.
Just rebuild them as they blow.
Yeah, he has the XV2s in there, so they don't make those anymore. So if you do have an issue with them, you have to get a recone from Sundown. I actually don't know if they have them anymore, but there's some more 6.5s on the market now. But hey, I appreciate the demo, man, and y'all let us know what you think about his system out here in Mississippi. He has got that under seat box on lock, just like I did in my work truck. So it's very cool. I appreciate your support, man.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I bought a lot of my stuff from Jason Bassey over there.
Yeah, he actually buys from me. I actually just stopped by his place yesterday, or the day before yesterday when I was coming through. So yeah, he was just saying that he likes the bass knob on the SFB because it has the clip light on there, and he was actually bringing up that he knows that clipping is the #1 killer of subwoofers, so he really pays attention to that because he's got a lot of power for just the that amount of subs down there. So that's very cool. And I was actually I was actually just talking with him about my box that I had in my work truck, and he was like, "Didn't you have a SCV 4000 on yours?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was asking, "How did you have so much power on them?" And I told him that when you're into something for a long time, like, you gain a lot of knowledge and experience in something. So because I do have knowledge and experience, I was able to add, like, it was running around 2.5 times the RMS power on those subs. But I told him I knew if I was going to be playing a really low note to turn it down a little bit so it wasn't like stretching the subs out and making them bottom out, and also to try to play most songs that are inside of box tuning, so that way it controls the subwoofer a lot better. And he was also saying that he knows that if you do play inside of box tuning and keep clean power, like not making the clip light come on, that subs will last a lot longer and play a lot better. And this is true. So I just wanted to bring y'all into this because I'm all about trying to share the knowledge that I've gained over the time, and it's cool to see like him knowing about that same type of stuff. So maybe it'll help some of you in your systems as well. So because what I was just talking about as well is if you saw one of his subs is missing, so with one of his subs missing, that means that his box is actually bigger than it needs to be, because it was made to have 6.5 in there now, but now it only has 5. So his cubic feet per speaker has went up, which is making it where they're playing in a bigger enclosure where they won't handle as much power because like it's missing that one sub. So that's something that we were talking about as well, because he has the 2K on there, but as you can see in the video, those things are jumping like really nice. But the reason for that is because the box is a little bit bigger than it normally would be when you had 6 of them in there. But it's playing nice. It's getting out really cool though. But anyway, I wanted to bring this information to y'all, so maybe it'll help some of y'all out.
That's unreal.
Is that the one you showed me where it busted the front windshield?
Yeah. How many times did you bust the windshield out?
A lot. Like it was about 10 times. Like the first few times is cool, but after that, like you're like, all right, this is getting expensive, and then you have to drive home. Like that's when I was driving it everywhere, so you have to drive home with this big caved-in windshield. So yeah, it got old. So now I have a polycarbonate windshield in there. It's 3/4 inches thick and is bolted around the outside. So they guaranteed me. It's a company called Optic Armor. They guaranteed me that I wouldn't break it, or they would give me another one. So it's stout.
So it's poly what?
Polycarbonate. It's a mixture between.
It's kind of like Lexan or something.
It's a what is it? I can't remember. It's 2 different things mixed together that make it insanely strong. So it's held up so far. So
don't worry about anybody shooting.
It gets down right. Yeah, it's stout. But yeah, it's a cool deal.
What about the side? I mean, what about your roll down windows and everything?
They mostly the front windshield takes like most of the pressure it builds on the front. The sides do some, but it really just destroy it. I don't know. I've never seen. Well, I've seen a couple, but
have those side ones rolled down.
Yeah, we usually roll the side ones down, but I've seen just a couple of people blow out their side ones, but it's usually because it blows it out of the gasket at the top and it starts hitting against the metal door frame up there, and it breaks it that way, not from like. It's very rare that it'll break it from just straight pressure on that side. I destroy like a bunch of doors. Like it just vibrates that passenger door over there so bad. Like we'll go through maybe like every 2 years or so and have to just strip everything off the door and get a new door from the junkyard and put everything on that door. Yeah, because where the door latches to the B pillar, it'll have like cracks all in there, like in the whole inside of the door. The window tracks and everything will be falling off. The rivets will be broke off and everything. Yeah, the base definitely destroys stuff.
I guess I've never been in anything that hit that hard.
Yeah, it's if I ever bring it through here, I'll definitely post up about it and like have a little get together.
I want to see that thing at some point in my life.
Yeah, we're gonna have it, and I was telling him they have a show in Biloxi, Mississippi next weekend that it should be at. I go to that show every year. It's called Scraping the Coast, but we're hoping to be down there. I know it's not close to here, but sometimes that's about as close as I get to being back here. But if I ever do come back to the Delta with it or whatever, I'll definitely make a post about it so everybody can come through and experience it.
It's a long way from Vegas, isn't it?
Yeah. Right now, I'm trying to get it shipped over.
How do you get it? Do you ship it on a car hauler?
Right. So right now, I'm waiting on somebody to come out and pick it up from my warehouse and bring it to the guy in Alabama that does all my work on it. And then after he picks that up, I would just want to do like a once over or whatever, like a tune up, if you will, to make sure it's good to go down to that show. But after that, it stays at this guy's house in Montgomery, Alabama, and he has like a dually with a fifth wheel on the back of it, and he hauls it to all the shows for me. It's almost like a car audio version of NASCAR. Like, he'll take it to there, and like I'll fly into the whatever city it is, and I'll go to the show, play it, and he puts it back on the trailer. I get on the plane, I go back. I just don't have a private jet to go to these places though. I fly Allegiant, so he can give me shit all the time about it. He's like, you better get your ass off of these. Right? I'll be getting on Spirit and Allegiant. He's like, man, I'm gonna be at your funeral when you.
I guess he ain't had any mishaps yet. So.
You know what? Hey, if as long as you don't lose a wing or a piece of anything else that flies off, they'll be all right. They'll duct tape it when they land.
How did you get that Sundown nightshade as your steering wheel?
Oh, that's a pretty cool deal. It has, the guy that tows the truck everywhere is a metal fabricator, and he made a adapter plate for it. So on one side it bolts to the steering column, and on the other side it has a bolt pattern that bolts the basket to the motor usually. So that's how it happened.
Like the first time I saw it, I was like, I've never seen someone have a subwoofer as their steering wheel.
Yeah. I've seen it a couple of times way back in the day, but I hadn't seen it done like here recently. But some people say it looks tacky, and other people say it looks cool. I didn't really care what it ended up being. Like, I just knew I wanted it something different than the factory steering wheel. So I just put a poll out there. I was like, hey, what do y'all think I should do for my steering wheel? Some people said it like a nice billet steering wheel, and other people was like, do a subwoofer. I'm like, all right, cool, I can make that happen.
I think you did the right thing, especially with what you're doing with it. Mm-hmm. Like, that's awesome having a freaking subwoofer as a steering wheel.
Right.
I've never even heard of that before.
Very cool, yeah.
But
we actually just posted it up the other day. I don't. Do you follow me on Instagram or Facebook or so? Yeah, I'm a social media guy. I noticed like I was getting a lot of comments, and I went and looked to see what it was for, and it was a picture of my steering wheel on there. Everybody was like saying how cool it was or whatever. So it was a cool deal.
Yeah, Zach sent me a picture, y'all, and he said you can show this to Davis. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, well, I showed it to Davis, and he automatically was like, what? He knows. How is that? Yeah, I didn't know it. He was following you and everything.
That's cool. Very cool.
Davis, you just always remember, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
It's very important these days for sure. It's definitely important. Knowing a lot it helps a lot, but knowing the right people helps even more sometimes. So it's very cool.
If only we could get the cougar back going.
That's what he was telling me about it. He's like, he said that you had given him that car and he was playing tag in it or something.
Tag somebody.
You wreck it?
Yeah, he crashed the front end up.
That's what I want to build in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you rear-ended somebody with it? Or
It's not dead. It just needs some parts. It's kind of like you said in your title. I gotta go search some.
Yeah, that's right.
I got one car over there in, Jap.
I used to, yeah.
Oh, Bradshaw. He got it over at his house, and so I've been meaning to go. Yeah, it's a 93 Cougar. It's got the same. It's got the same hood on it. No.
I used to get passed pretty regular going to Cleveland by that old Cougar.
Which one?
Uh-oh.
Who was driving, him or me?
Throw him under the bus. Boy.
I never told you that until now. Okay?
I plead the fifth.
I can't say that.
I never told you that until now.
When I first got that car,
he come by me
or nothing. Everywhere I went.
He come by me pretty swift. I'd be going taking my kids to school or something, and I'd see him in a rearview mirror, and it wouldn't be long. Come on,
he didn't have to clean his truck. You sucked all the dust off of it when you came by.
I just smile and laugh. I'm not going to be that guy that tells Daddy. I'm just going to let him. He's either going to get a ticket and learn the hard way or something,
Yeah, I guess one of those two.
When we were in college, of course, I wasn't as into it as a buddy of mine was, but he had the same Cougar as I did, and he had 4 10s in that the trunk of that car.
It was 4 Orion 10s and 8 Memphis 1000s.
Yeah, he had that one tuned up pretty good. It was. That's
a lot back then, yeah.
Those cars were really good sound cars because they were so insulated.
Yeah, I
Big
was telling him my
truck.
sister had one of those style Cougars like back in the day, and like that was one of I think that was my sister's first car like in high school. So yeah, it was cool.
So did you go to high school at
Riverside is where I went.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Greenville, so I went down south of Greenville to Riverside my whole schooling. So don't let anybody tell you can't move out of the Delta and go into school around here.
Man, my hat's definitely off to you. You've done a phenomenal job
I
getting
appreciate
to where
it.
you are.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, it just goes back to my dad, like he taught me hard work and being consistent is the biggest thing. Like, I mean, a lot of people around the South, especially in the farming industry, they know hard work, but when you couple that with technology and like primarily like an online based business, because like everybody knows that in our
That's when the shit goes over my head because, like, what I can operate anything on that combine and any computers, whatever, on these sprayers and stuff. But when it comes to getting on a computer and getting online, and I'm out.
Yeah, but when you couple those things, like everybody in my space, like they know, like nobody is gonna outwork me. Like when it comes to like online business, like and doing what we do. There's only, I don't know, seriously doing it or trying to do it on a somewhat bigger level. About 5 other companies, but they all know like nobody's gonna outwork me when it comes to it. I mean, I wake up every morning 3:45, 4 o'clock, and go till 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So I do the long hours, and they just know that they're not going to outwork me. But that's what comes from my dad. And then like coupling with the right people, like having like the right people on your team is very important, because like you're talking about, I don't know the first thing when it comes to doing like website coding and stuff like that, but I have a guy now that he loves doing that and he's good at it. He's from Australia. I've never met him in person, and he's like one of the biggest reasons why my website runs as smooth as it does, and like and it goes like that. I'm the engine, I guess you could say, but I have like turbochargers and superchargers latched onto there that help like keep it going and on this crazy level. So it definitely helps to have like the right people on your team. I mean, you'll probably know if you have good hard workers with you, it makes your life a little bit easier.
Right. To be able to farm, and especially if you farm in a significant amount of acres, you gotta have guys know what they're doing out there.
Right.
Few and far between.
They are. And 9 times out of 10, you gotta pay them. You have to pay them good to get somebody good.
Right, and a lot of times it comes like when you pay, like you get what you pay for a lot of times, and sometimes you get burnt, like you're like, oh, this dude talks a good game, and then you find out, oh, he doesn't really know, like, all right, you got me, all right, we need to go our separate ways or whatever. But when you do find the good ones, you keep them around, they'll work out good. So that's what I've learned, like coupling hard work with like knowing people or having people on your team that you're able to attach to and like help push your business forward. So
One of the coolest, like one of the most fascinating things that I think I've ever seen in my life was, and it's been a while back, but I remember you posted this video. You're in your warehouse, and he was talking about, you can explain it way better than I can. Like, it's an electronic, it's like a big old, pretty big looking deal, but anyway, it's like kept up with your money and all. Like it was a.
oh, you're talking about the Bitcoin mine?
Yeah,
or are you talking
like
about the miners?
Bitcoin. Have you ever heard of Bitcoin?
I have, but I'm not really familiar with what it is.
Digital.
It's a digital
Right.
cryptocurrency. It's called a cryptocurrency. Like, so there's when you especially now, you know all the crap that's going on in the world. Like the only thing, a dollar in your pocket, the only reason why it's worth something is because you think it is. Because people, like, it's known by the population, like, oh, this $20 is worth $20. This piece of paper is worth $20. People kill each other over it, like they do stupid stuff to get it. It's just because it's been instilled into us that, like, and it works because everybody will, if you go to the store, you give me this 20, I'll give you $20 worth of goods.
Yeah.
But what they're saying is, like, the more they keep printing money, like decreasing the value of the dollar, like they're watering it down because they just keep right now the money printers, or the way that they print the US dollar, they're just printing money like they're wide open. Like they can't print money fast enough, and that's how they're propping up the economy right now. But there's people out there that are saying one day that there's not going to be a dollar. There's going to be like a currency it's basically just, some of it is already there. Like you log into your bank account, you just see a number there. It's not. You don't see
the actual
right. You don't see. You're not getting paid. A lot of times you're getting paid.
That card.
Yeah, exactly. It's a card. Like it's very rare these days that you're seeing somebody's kind of like you owe somebody $15,000. You're not like, here's you $15,000. You're like, here's my card. Like it's not like, so people are just passing back and forth numbers. And the people that have this, it's called Bitcoin or whatever, like in the simplest way of explaining it, it only exists online, and there's people, the growing popularity of it is almost like the US dollar. Like more people are believing in it, and they're wanting to get away from government controlling their money and everything like that. So in order for this to exist, it has to be mined or farmed. Like it's weird, but you do it with computers, like very high-tech computers. So I had for a while I had a bunch of like computers that were stacked up like at least like this high. There was I had like $70,000 in just these computers that were mining this cryptocurrency. But the other problem with that is it's only profitable if the amount that it the amount that it costs you while you're doing it, the electricity, because it's burning up electricity while these computers are running. So now I don't have them running. I have them off because it's not profitable anymore to run them. But I incurred or made like 6 Bitcoin. So if you look at Bitcoin right now, 1 Bitcoin is worth, I don't know, do you know anything about it? It's like around $10,000 or so. So I have 6 Bitcoin in my little Bitcoin account, so there's 60,000 there, and I could.
You got paid for it.
Yeah, close, but it just depends. It like at one time it was like it went up to like $22,000 of Bitcoin, but it fluctuates just like the stock market, whatever people think it's worth. So anyway, that's the gist of it, and they think sometime in the future that it'll be more so that type of thing that's not controlled by the government. It's just like the people have control over it, and like, hey man, like you want to sell me this tractor? Okay, I'll pay you 20 Bitcoin for it or whatever. You're like, okay, you get 20 Bitcoin. Like, oh, I need a new truck. You go to the dealership. Okay, I'll take 20 Bitcoin for it or whatever. Like, so you'll pass around Bitcoin instead of like these dollars that are just printed by the government. So that's basically how it works. And it does look really cool though, like all these computers and lights and everything. And it's like,
that blew my mind when you started talking about it.
I had heard the term Bitcoin, but I had no idea what it was until you just told me that.
Yeah. A lot of people don't, but it's a cool thing though. But that's basically it.
Wow. Of course, you see what happens when you give the government control of anything. So.
Goes to crap.